Happy Saturday, everybody. It is June 14th. I am Terri Brummagem, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Loveland, Colorado. And I am coming on a little late today. It's it's a hot Saturday here in Loveland, so I had to make the executive decision to do some yard work first and do some stuff before I decided to come on today. But I am especially happy to come on in honor of my dad today. Father's Days can be a little bit hard, but I know that my dad in heaven is looking down on all of us and always making sure that we know that he is loved and that he loves us. So because my dad loved popcorn, and he always, was sharing it with all of us, so all of us love popcorn too. So when I saw this set in the Stampin' Up online exclusives, I fell in love with it. It's called Poppin By. It's a bundle, and we have a stamp set and dies. And this is the card that we're going to be making today. But I'm going to show you that maybe you've already done your Father's Day cards and you just fell in love with it. So we're going to actually do it as a birthday card instead. And so because it does say pop, I'm always being asked to do masculine sets. And so that's why I'm opting to do this today. And so I also want to make sure that I am in my group, and I think it's finally starting to maybe work. So hopefully it is, and that people are finding me. I had so many people tell me the last time I was on that it was a bit difficult to find it. So I've been really working on it. So hopefully you guys are going to find me okay. So with that being said, before we do get started and do this really cute little card today, I just want to again wish a very happy Father's Day to all the dads that are in heaven. They're not forgotten and they are loved. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was saying happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I also want to show you, when I was designing this card today, I did do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, because I didn't know how big I wanted all of the center focus to be. So what I did do is I went through, and I'm going to be cutting these into measurements on colored cardstock as well. And so this was just a really handy dandy thing. So be on the lookout for a template that I'm going to do, because this was really helpful. For example, this is the standard first layer, 5 1/4 by 4, and then you proceed inward. And so this was just a handy dandy little thing that I did instead of wasting all of my scrapbook and cardstock. Then this way it's just printer paper, and I was able to use this. So this was actually a really useful tool that I used today. And then what we're going to show you is first the stamp set. It has some really cute sayings on it, but then it also has coordinating dies, Poppin By dies. And I wanted to show you that when I have dies, I do go in and I trace them with a pen first, because that way I know that if I'm missing one, and I try to put them right back. But what I did want to show you guys, when you're using this set, when I first ran it through the embossing machine, I ran them through separately, and what it ended up doing was it gave it the embossing, but it didn't cut it out. It cut out the little pieces that we're going to show you on the card, but I had to put the base down first, so I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys that. So what I did is I taped them together with my handy dandy Post-it notes tape that I have shown you guys quite a few times. I've been cleaning up my office, so I don't know where it went. But it's just Post-it tape, okay? And so that way you have your inner piece and your outer piece, okay? And I just wanted to show you what we did here, because in order to achieve these cute little popcorns, I used these 3 pieces like I said, and then it cut them out into those. So you just have to make sure that they are together. And then I also use this die here to cut out the popcorn, and we're going to actually do that twice to do some layering, so that's really cute as well. If you are interested in this set, the bundle is $34. The stamp set alone is $20 and the dies are $18, but you do save 10% when you do the bundle, so it's a really good deal to always get it ahead of time. Now today, because I did want to find something for Father's Day, I obviously can't give this one to my sweet dad, but my daughter's boyfriend is going to give it to his dad. So I thought that was extra cute. And so that's why I wanted to make sure this particular set did not have the sayings that I wanted. So I did bring in some other sets, and I haven't looked to see if they are still on the last chance list, but I did use the Happy Father's Day from Trusty Tools for this saying, and then I did use the You're the Best from Translucent Florals for this part here. So you know, when you go through your stamp sets and they retire or whatnot, make sure that before you do turn around and sell them or whatever, there's just some that you want to make sure that you keep for the sayings alone. Okay, bring all the pieces out here and get started building, and I'm going to show you what we did. So let me get all these pieces out, and be careful because these little feet here that I did die cut out with the it's going to be in here somewhere, but here it is. See, hidden in here. And so just make sure that these little pieces don't get lost in the shuffle. But I thought those were so cute. Now I'm going to be explaining how I did the pop-up dots here in a minute, and those are actually right here. I did end up using also the mini alphabet dies, and what I always like to do is put them on sticky embellishments on a sheet, and I went to use them and I didn't have any more. So make sure that you stay tuned and watch how I did that. Oh, okay. Hi, Corey. Good afternoon. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining us. So when we get to this part, I'm going to show you what I did so that you don't have to run the whole die through. I'll show you a trick that I did and how I lifted those. So I'm going to lay these over here as a reminder to show you guys what I did. And so I might start with that, but I'm just going to put this here because I've got kind of some little tricks. And so when I showed you guys earlier how I have started like using my little printer paper as my templates so that I don't continue to waste. So I just wanted to show you guys how this went with it, because then I also am kind of using these as my little notes, how I want to lay it out. So I'm going to lay this here as well, because that was just my sample to show you, you know, what my measurements were, because this is a card base that is just folded in half, right? So I'm trying to find, just a second here. If you're a visual person, which a lot of you are that messaged me, I just wanted to show you that this is, let me actually put this out, because I think people got a little confused. So this is the 5.5 by 11 sheet, okay? So your 11 sheet here. And so what you do is you come over, okay, to the, that's the 11, but you come down to the 5.5 side, and I just realized that this is upside down for me. So you're going to score it on 4 1/4 before you cut it so that you can get 2 pieces. So score your piece at 4 1/4, and then you're going to end up cutting it at the 5.5. So hopefully you get that, and that answered her question. So here we start with our card base, okay? That's our card base. Then we're going to bring in basic white 5 1/4 by 4, and this is how, we can put our little shoes up there. This is how, I don't know if you can tell, but if you don't have red and white paper, I just came in and cut some strips. I always keep my scraps because it was very easy to come through and just build some scraps. And so I'm going to show you how I did this and a little trick that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my grid paper to show you what I did. And that is the white base here. And then I have 6 cut 5 1/4 by 1/2 of an inch because one of them will be going on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we're going to do that, but I'm just going to put this one here so that we know it's going to go on the inside. And then my white piece of paper is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4, and that's going to get glued to the black, which is 4 5/8 and 3 3/8. And what you want to do, because that's a lot of space that's being covered, and so what I did is I cut my black shoes out of this black paper. But if you have any upcoming cards that you're going to be using for black, try to really utilize the space, because then it's just going to get covered like this. So then that's going to go here. And then this was just a scrap in case we messed up and you guys wanted me to do it again, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you. These are my pieces that I cut out that I explained earlier already. So that's going to be those 3. And this is how they look if you don't double layer them, which is fine too, because you may want to just stamp it directly on there with the smiley face. I don't particularly care for the smiley face look on this card particularly, so I'm just going to use these for something else later on. But I'm going to go ahead and build the base first and then show you how I stamped and layered this. And I tried doing it in a couple ways, so I really want you to grasp how I did a couple of things. So what we're going to do is show you here. Oh, that's nice. I'm getting fingernail polish on there. So what we're going to do is I went back and forth how to actually do this. I'm going to see if that actually gets covered up because I like this side better. Because these are 1/2 inch strips, if you do it top to bottom right at 1/2 inch, it's not even on the card like here. So I kept going back and forth. I brought in another ruler and I was just wasting a lot of time. So what I opted to do, you guys, is instead of cutting off and my ends not being even, I went ahead and went top to bottom first. Then, and I am going to have to flip it because I don't like that has red on it. So I just made sure that on the grid, I knew where my marking was, okay? And so I'm going to actually glue these as we go so that we're not wasting your time. You'll have to tell me, do you already have all of your Father's Day cards made and ready to hand them out? What are you doing for Father's Day this weekend? Another thing that we're going to be doing tomorrow, it's pretty much my mom and I and my daughter Maddie and my sister Penny are local. My sister Deborah is in Kansas City. Penny is here in Loveland. And why is this not wanting to cooperate? Sorry. It's because I'm live, right? And let's put this up here. Mickey is up in Vail with my nephew Jake. I'm just going to have to trim that. I don't know why that's doing that, which is fine. And I'll show you how to do that. This was supposed to be the easy part. And then, of course, Billy is in Hastings, Nebraska. And so, yeah, Abby is in Charlotte. And so we're going to be making hot dogs and using a sauce called Texas Hots from New York. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow in honor of my dad, is having a little hot dog celebration. And then, of course, we're going to have our popcorn. What I did now, you guys, is I literally just started kind of spreading it out, using the ledger a little bit and kind of having the line be in the middle. So for these 3 pieces, before you do want to glue it down, you're just going to kind of follow the measurement of the double line here, if that makes sense. easiestly put, just make sure that you spread it out, but put your top and bottom first. So as you can see, that actually looks pretty good. And if you can see, I've got some like frayers, I don't know what you call them, but if your trimmer blade is getting dull, that can happen sometimes, and then you just have to come in and shave it, and that's fine, I don't mind. It can be a nuisance, but I'm not going to worry about it. So again, I'm just coming in and then making sure that it's also straight on the other end as well. Let's go ahead and come in and do this piece here. This was actually a pretty quick, cute card once I figured out how I wanted to do it. But again, you can be very resourceful if you don't have the papers that you want. And again, I'm just going to trim that a little bit because for the sake of live, I'm just going to go with it and trim it, and it's not going to be any big deal at all. So then let's put this back on there and just get that in the center. And then we know it's straight by just going like that. So easy peasy, okay? Then because it did get shortened a little bit, I'm just going to bring my trimmer back in just really quick here and just cut off that end just a little bit, and no one's going to ever know, because I still want to make sure that it's straight. So I don't want to like take my scissors and bring it in, okay? And I don't like some of these flares, but it's going to be covered, so I'm not going to worry about it. So there we have our base already done. Let's go ahead and glue that, okay, to the black base here. Remember, this is the card base, so we're just going to go like this. Okay. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and set this aside, and let's do our stamping, because then I'm going to show you how we built it. Since these are photopolymer, these are red rubber, I don't need my mat, but on the one that I'm going to use for the happy birthday, it is photopolymer, so I am going to want to make sure to do it on my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on my mat for both, just because I can, right? So let's go ahead, and the inks that we're using today is the Memento Black, okay, that's for the inside. We've got Daffodil Delight for the yellow and Real Red for the red. So the first one I'm going to do is and I work from the right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and let's go ahead and put the happy birthday first. And I just always like to stamp on my scrap first to make sure I like it, and I do. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in and stamp that. I don't need to wobble it. It's just 1, 2, 3, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing, that I'm in the screen. So that looks good. I actually like that font. And then, oops, we still need black for You're the Best. I could have put No One's Better Than You on the front, but I thought it was cute to put that on the inside, okay? And we're just gonna go for it and say You're the Best. Oh, let's do that over. I don't want my head to come into the screen, which is hard, but I don't like that. There we go. And then I'm just gonna real quick redo the happy birthday, because this one is going to a recipient already that I know of, okay? So that's actually all of the black that we're going to do. Now let me put these on my tray to make sure that I clean them right after the live, so I don't bore you with that. Now let's go ahead and show you how I did the actual popcorn. So let's move this out of the way for a minute. You're just going to bring in a scrap, and you're going to be stamping it with yellow and the red, because you're going to be layering it. Well, hi Penny, good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. This is in honor of Dad. So let's make sure that that's going to fit. Yep, I'm going to actually do it this way so that I don't. So we're going to do a yellow, and we're going to come straight down, hold it, 1, 2, 3, and boom. And then this one I will go ahead and clean because I'm going to come back with the red. So I'm going to bring in my Simply Chamois here, make sure that's good and clean. And there's still a little yellow. This isn't as wet as it could be. So I just want to make sure that I'm not going to mix my colors. And I'm going to go ahead and close my Daffodil Delight because I don't need it anymore. And let's go ahead and bring in that red and show you how we built this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and lift. Perfect. And now that is this all the stamping with this one, but we will need Daffodil Delight for the inside, I just remembered. So let's go ahead and clean this one here. Okay. I just think this is so cute. I mean, popcorn's not everybody's thing, but it sure is ours. And while I have my inks out here, let's go ahead and bring in a piece of that 5 1/4 by 4 so that we can put all of our stamping away and bring in the No One's Better Than You. We're going to go ahead and put on the inside. I thought that was so cute. No one's better than you. Okay. That's a little cricket. So let's go ahead. I don't have my silicone mat out here. There, that's better. Dad would love this card. Right, Penny? I know. I totally thought of him. And I also thought of a lot of my realtors doing open houses that are looking for the Poppin By treat holders. And so I'm going to be showing how to do like some belly bands around microwavable popcorn and do some tags, because it's great to give us thank yous for any profession, not just realtors. Like my mom had her hair done at the hairdresser yesterday, and I automatically thought, how cute would it be just to take somebody a bag of popcorn with a cute little thank you, right? The hospital. Both my daughters have worked at the hospitals, and so everyone always needs encouragement, right? And so now what we're going to do is this one is done stamping. So let's go ahead and put it on the inside because we're here. We're going to go ahead and bring it up a little bit so that it matches the stripe on the front. And while we're at it, let's go ahead real quick and add it to the inside here so that our inside is done. I think that's so cute. No one's better than you. Cute saying that they came out with, right? Because you got to have butter on your popcorn, right? So that part is done. Now I'm going to show you what I did. I promised to come back and show you that I just took this little guy here, and this is called the die. And you just place it over the stamp, and then you're going to run it through your Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. And I already showed you how to do the 3 popcorn. And with the loveliness of live, we're going to go ahead, and these are already cut out. Okay, so what I did is I can show you just real quick. You're going to take the red and just trim around like so. Okay, and you're just going to continue around until, I'll just show you, until you've cut that off, because imagine that it's already been ran through, right? So then you end up with this little piece here, and we are going to lift it off of here. This one's for later. So what I did is I did use a lot of dimensionals on this one, and I had a full sheet, and the reason that I wanted to show you guys this sheet here is because this is what I used for my popping up of my pop letters, and I'll show you how I did that here in a minute. So you are literally just going to line it up like so, hopefully you can see, and just layer it so that it's right on top of each other. Okay, where did that little piece go? So I think that's so cute. And then our little feet are right here. I'm going to do the feet last so that you can see what I'm doing here. So what I did is this is going to now go here, okay? And it does have sunglasses that I could have done as well, but I didn't want it to be too cutesy because it could have that tendency. So I just wanted it, for the simplest terms, I don't know that my dad would have liked sunglasses on it. So what I did with the letters here is I cut a 1-inch strip. Instead of running your die, because it's a full die, instead of running it through the machine and cutting them all out, which I probably would use a lot of the red, it's a flat on here. And then what I've started doing is I just cut my strips. So P-O-O, you know, I needed a P-O-P. So I did have to do it twice. So originally I just laid it across like so, ran it through my embossing machine, and that's how I got the P-O-P. And I did double my paper so that I had my double P. Now if I wanted to, I could have just cut this piece, right, with my double, and that would have been enough for my P-O-P. So you can see how it doesn't waste your paper at all doing it that way. Then what I did is this strip here, because I realized when I went to grab them that I needed to order new strips. So what I did is do not throw away your in your little dimensionals here, because it was like this, okay? And I just cut around the edge. And then that's what allowed me to have this. And then I just came in with my letters and peeled them off and put them back on here. Another trick that I wanted to show you guys that you may not be aware of is when you put your stamps together, you know, when we're, this is what I did. They come on this sheet here, and this piece is on here. And you peel it off, and I don't throw it away, because for like my lives, or if I'm doing projects and I don't want to lose it, then this peels off. And so that's what I'm going to show you, is I already put the dimensional on there because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't, you know, you guys weren't, it was like sipping coffee slowly watching me do that, right? So then I'm just going to go like this, because I'm just peeling it right off, because my dimensionals are already on it. And make sure that you get it straight, okay? You could bring in your grid paper if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go for it because, you know, I can. It's, it all has to kind of do with everything popping, so in all honesty, I don't think that it needs to be straight. But typically, this is one that you may want to, you know, hand deliver in person. But if you can't, it is one that if you go to the post office, they even have them in a full sheet, and they're called non-machinable stamps. And it's $1.19, and it makes sure that you are paying the cost of having things leveled up, but it also doesn't ruin it when it goes through the machine. So again, you can level up as much as you want, because for $1.19, they're not going to put it through the machine. But it does have to say non-machinable. And you can get it one, or you can get it with the sheet. And I just realized I do not have my black piece cut. So let's bring that trimmer in real quick so that I can have this card done. And the black piece is supposed to be, I've got some scrolls in here, is going to be 4 5/8, and hopefully I might be able to get 2 out of this. 4 5/8 and 3 3/8. 1, 3. Very cute. Well, thank you, Penny. Thank you, thank you. It was nice getting to chat with you for a little bit yesterday. And so now we are ready to go ahead and glue this. So isn't it fun? You might come on, or you might be scrolling through Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, and be like, oh my gosh, that's such a cute card, but that looks like it would be so hard to do. And I've shown you today that it is not difficult at all, right? Easy peasy, out of the box, and I think that any father would be happy to get this card. There we go. Oops. Now we're just going to bring these cute little popcorns and pop them up with dimensionals as well. And then we're going to be done. So if I've given you any inspiration today, you guys make sure that you go to my Crafts a Latte blog, and you can shop and see what's available. I do like to pop these up a little bit. I thought that was cute. So this one, let's see. I'm just going to put this one down here. And then I'm just going to pop it up a little bit more so that it kind of looks 3D-ish. You know, why not, right? Come on. And then this one, I'm going to put over here by itself. And then this one. Why do these look a little bit different? Okay. I'm going to switch these because I wanted the small one to go over here, because I've already got something over here. So the smallest one is going to go right here. And how cute, you guys, right? So cute. The only thing we've got to do now, I'm going to actually lift this one. It doesn't have it sticky on, is putting the feet on. Now, I wish that I had used my sticker sheets for the shoes, because that was probably the only part that you just kind of have to make sure that it stays on, okay? So let's go ahead and put that here. So there we have it, you guys. I think that's so cute. But let's put the shoes on. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool for this one, because I just want a little bit of glue on it. And I'm going to actually put it directly on the shoe first this time, instead of, on the feet this time, because I did it on the shoe, and boy, did I have difficulty because of my hand. Well, hi, Jake. Thank you. I thought this was so cute. So then, how you use your Take Your Pick tool, you guys, is I'm going to show you on this piece here, is I want to go ahead and make sure that they're face up. And did you see how I just lifted that with the putty? So handy, right? So then, let's go ahead and take our tool here, and we're just going to hold it there for a minute like so. Pick it up again and put it on the leg. Let's scoot it over a little bit though. You don't want one leg looking, well, see, see what I mean? I'm going to actually turn this just for a second so I can see where I want that a little bit. You know, you always have to have one that's not cooperating. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I think these turned out so cute. I just wanted to pop in and say hi, and again say Happy Father's Day. Oopsie. And for those that you may not have needed a Father's Day card because you've already made one, and you needed a masculine pop happy birthday, then there you have it. So everybody go, please have a blessed and safe rest of your weekend. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers out there, and especially as well to those in heaven. So if not sooner, then I will see you Wednesday night for Crafts a Latte. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.